Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at some 1971 United States quarter dollar coins. This is just a big pile of them we have here. I got one in my change the other day when I bought something at the store. They gave me a 1971 quarter back. It's this one right here. Let me see if I can find it now. Well, there it is. All right, so they gave me this one back, and this is a 1971 coin. It just looks great, right? It's the quarter dollar coin from the U.S. It says Liberty at the top, has George Washington on it facing to the left. It says In God We Trust, 1971 down here. If we tip it up on the side, we see that this is a copper and nickel coin, actually a copper nickel clad copper. So we have copper nickel mixed together. And then inside we have copper, and then we have it clad on the back also. And so I was going, I remember something about the 1971 that it had some extremely high values on some of them. So I was looking over this coin. This, of course, says on the back, it says United States of America, E pluribus unum. Down here it says quarter dollar. And if we magnify it way up, if we magnify it way up, we can see that it's incredibly worn. This isn't an error of any kind. This is just what happens when it goes into machines and kind of rubs against other coins. Nothing on this coin makes me think it's of any great value, but I figured I'd look it up. And there's a couple good videos on the YouTube channels, including one from Treasure Town, where they talk about the 1971 valuable coins. And in order for it to be a valuable coin, you need to start in 1971 with a D on it. So this is a Philadelphia mint. In 1971, they still weren't putting the P's on. So there's no P on here, which means for the mint mark. So that means that this is a Philadelphia mint coin. Let's see if we can find a Denver mint coin. We got a bunch of them here. And there's the D right there. Sometimes they call this like the filled D. The D kind of gets smoothed out and filled in. Again, no real value for that. Same thing, Liberty at the top, In God We Trust, 1971. And the value of these coins is on the back. And so we will turn it over and take a look at it. Now, they made a lot of the D's and not so many of the Philadelphia mint or blank mint mark ones. In 1971, they made about 350 million quarters. 109 million were the Philadelphia mint, which is the blank one, and 258 million were the Denver mint, which is this D here. So if they only made like less than half of the Philadelphia mint than they did of the Denver mint, and actually the Philadelphia mint, 109 million, was the second lowest mintage ever for a U.S. quarter in the modern era. However, that didn't give it any value. 109 million was still so many. But what you want to look for on these coins is double die on the back. So let's see if we can really magnify it. What would happen is, if you get over here, you would see a doubling here, like it'd almost look like there was an I underneath the I. So let's look at all the D's here and see if we have any with a double die back. It's really unlikely we do. And I should say that even in this, see how beat up this coin is? This would probably be worth $150 with a double die back. So let's find another D in here. Let's take that one out of the... here's another D. And we can see the D there. A little bit, this one almost looks like an O. It's so kind of beaten down. And down here you see that sometimes people say these coins may be offset. This isn't offset. The rim just got kind of worn down is what happened. All right, so let's look on the back and let's look at these. It's very evident if you start to see a double die. These aren't some of those double dies you can't even tell the difference. This is one where if you see the double die on here, you'll definitely see the letters underneath the letters. Let's find another D. Here's another D. Oh, see? So that's interesting. Look at this D here. And then look at this D here, and then let's look at one more D here, and see how the they all kind of change. This one's in the best shape. This one's not only filled, but you can't even tell it's a D. And this one's kind of in the middle, but it's fading away. So this is the best of the D's, but it still looks kind of O-ish. And now let's look on the back of this one and see if we can see anything. Nope. So you look through all these letters and you can kind of, you would see almost it look like another letter underneath them. There's another D. So this is just another version of D. This is the best D we've had so far. You can really tell that's a D. Then if we look on the back and we magnify it as much as we can, we really can't see any doubling here. This is just spacing between the letters. If you see the doubling, you'll know it. And I haven't looked through these, but I'm pretty sure I don't have one. Let's keep looking though. Here's another D. Yeah, no doubling on that one. And let's look what the D looks like. Okay, so we got another. That's pretty much, you can tell that one's a D. That one's a Philadelphia Mint because it doesn't have the mark on it, so we don't need to look at the back of that one at all. And this one, wow, this is beat up. But it's a D, so let's look on the back, and just in case, even if it's this beat up, we might be able to see some double dye on here if there was on it. And again, I'm not seeing any evidence of any double dye on here, no matter how we tilt it and look. And then finally, another Philadelphia. Okay, so no double dyes on here, but let's look at a couple other things. First off, right down here, we see there's a couple little dots underneath George Washington's neck. That's the J and the F for John Flanagan, who designed this coin, engraved this coin back in, I believe, 1930s. And it stayed on, even though this coin in this copper, nickel-clad copper version has only been here since 1965. It's the same design that John Flanagan did for the old silver coins. They just took it and moved it right over. So you can see the JF there. Let's see if we can find another kind of better JF. That one's a little bit better. If you can see, yeah, now you can definitely see the F. There's a J and an F there for John Flanagan. So John Flanagan engraved these coins. They were copper nickel clad copper, 5.67 grams, 24.26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters in thickness. They were made from 1965 until 1998, at which point we moved to the state series of the U.S. quarters. And there's a great JF on that one, that Philadelphia Mint one. All right, so if you find one, the first thing you do is find the D, and then you look at the back and look for double lettering, or the double dyeing, and that's how you'll know you have a valuable one. Thanks for watching the DC CoinWorld International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.